Hello everyone, it's Colleen Lemma, Starseed Astrologer and Spiritual Messenger from SacredSoulEmpowerment.com, and I'm here to connect with you today to see how everyone's doing as we enter the month of April. Today is April 2nd, 2017, and I wanted to make a soul reflections video for you, something I haven't done in a little while. The weather here in Michigan, obviously in the wintertime, is a little bit too cold and snowy to be able to get out in nature, and not that I have to make a soul reflections video outdoors, but it's always nice to be able to connect with nature and get out. So today, April 2nd, it's actually a nice day, partly sunny, but it's starting to cloud over, and the temperature is nearing 60, which is very, very warm for this time of the year here in Michigan. So again, I wanted to connect with you because April is going to be an interesting month astrologically speaking. There's a lot going on. I do have my monthly angel card reading out on my YouTube channel, Colleen Lemma, for the month of April. So you'll want to see what the messages are astrologically and from our angels and guides by tuning into that. But especially I wanted to talk with you about one of the energies in particular that we're going to be feeling in this month of April. Probably the biggest thing that's happening is that we have Saturn and Chiron squaring for the entire month, and as we move through the month of April, it's just going to get closer together and a little bit more intense in the energies. So let's talk a little bit about what that means. Saturn is a planet that rules restriction, limitation. Saturn is considered the great teacher, and he teaches us lessons through challenge. And a lot of people in the astrological community know Saturn as the Lord of Karma. So he does deal with karmic patterns and karmic circumstances, which obviously often stem from previous lifetimes. So Chiron, now interestingly, Chiron also rules past life wounds. Okay, Saturn is kind of like lessons from past and past lives. Chiron is about past life wounds, and those wounds can be physical, emotional, mental, and or spiritual. And especially because Chiron right now is in the sign of Pisces, a lot of these are collective wounds because the sign of Pisces deals with the collective. So a lot of us are very empathic, and a lot of us in this month of April, and not just in the month of April, but even more so in the month of April, are tuning in to the collective wounds. The wounds of our country, the wounds of the world, you know, the wounds of ancient past circumstances and situations. And of course, Saturn is bringing those challenges to the surface by connecting with Chiron in a square aspect, which is a challenging aspect. So a lot of things, again, whether they be personal or on a collective level, are coming to the surface. And we're feeling them more intensely. We're feeling them through some fears, some anxieties. Again, some of us who are empathic are feeling things in our physical bodies or the emotional and mental bodies as depression or, again, anxiety. And it's going to be an interesting month. This is something that's a clearing, so it's not to be looked at in a negative way. It will feel challenging, but this is something that's positive and needs to happen as far as the long-term outcome of where we're going as a humanity, you know, as a world. We're clearing a lot of those past life wounds out so that we can be free and clear to move forward in a more beneficial way. One of the other things that's going to make this a little bit more intense this month is the fact that, first of all, we start out the month of April with Jupiter retrograde and Venus is retrograde until about the 15th of April. Then she will turn to direct motion. But as she comes to a standstill and gets ready to turn direct, she's going to be conjuncting Pisces. So she also will make a couple of challenging square aspects to Saturn, again, as Chiron and Saturn are squaring each other all month. So Venus is going to be in the mix as she's slowing down to turn direct. And of course, Venus rules relationships, partnerships of all kinds. It rules the divine feminine. As she's in Pisces, this is about the victimization of the divine feminine. That's going to again be coming to a head. And also on a third dimensional level, Venus rules money and finances, so we might find some things that are coming up as far as that's concerned as well. Now throughout the month of April, we're also going to have Saturn turning retrograde, Mercury is going to turn retrograde, and then Pluto a little bit later in the month is going to turn retrograde. So we will have a lot of planets that are in retrograde motion, which internalizes the energy. When the planets are moving in a direct, or what we call forward movement, we have things happening out in the outer level, you know, situations and circumstances outside of us, although it's always a reflection of what's going on internally within us, and it always does affect us what's going on out there. But when planets are turning retrograde, it internalizes the energy. So a lot of this energy, Mercury, Pluto, this is things that are happening on an internal level. Now it becomes much more personal for us as we're going through and transforming and getting in touch with, again, the divine feminine within us, with Venus retrograde, with Pluto retrograde. It's about our power, so owning our power, internal power structures within us. Saturn turning retrograde is going to internalize that Saturnian energy so that it's more clear to us what things we are learning as far as lessons from the past, and what karma we are rising above if we choose to rise above it. So again, once Saturn turns retrograde, which I believe is the 6th of April, then Saturn's going to be moving slowly back in degrees as it retrogrades back, and Chiron is still moving forward. So especially after the 6th of April, more towards the second half of April, that Saturn-Chiron square is going to get tighter and tighter and tighter until it becomes exact towards the very end of the month. So again, we're going to be feeling a lot of things. You all are going to be feeling things in your physical body as things are being transmuted. Some old emotions from previous circumstances, maybe in childhood, maybe in previous lifetimes, comes up to be released and let go and hopefully healed, and gaining the wisdom and what the lesson is all about, gaining that wisdom and perspective of what it's all about. But know that you're not alone. Know that everyone's going through this. And again, on a collective level too, we're all going through this. The world is going through this. Our country is going through this. And again, for a lot of you I know that watch my videos outside of the United States, your countries are going through it as well. So all of those collective wounds of the past are coming up, so with the opportunity to be healed. And you know, yes, it can feel challenging, but know that I'm here for you. There's a lot of people, a lot of light workers out there that are here for you. So seek out community, seek out people that you can connect with, talk with. It's a great time to create divine feminine groups, women, especially with Venus. Venus is again in retrograding back into Pisces here. She'll be in Pisces most of the month of April before she goes back into Aries. So get together with women of like mind and support each other through these times. I have a special group of women that I connect with, and I love them dearly, and I appreciate so much their support and the ability to be able to text or call or email them when I'm going through a tough time any particular day. So you can do the same. Find those people that you trust, find those people that will support you, find those people that are non-judgmental to assist you through each step on your path. So I think that's about all I want to say for this Soul Reflections video. Again, I send you all much love and light. I love you all very much. I thank you all for your support with me doing what I do, through your comments and through your kind gestures and your energy. I appreciate that all very much. So until we meet again on the next weekly or monthly video, I send you all much love and light and many, many angel blessings. Namaste. Hello, beautiful souls. This is Colleen Lemma from Sacred Soul Empowerment. I just finished my Soul Reflections video outdoors in nature next to the lake not too long ago, and I watched it as I uploaded it and realized there was one or two other things that I wanted to mention. First, I want to go back to something I said in the video, and I misspoke just a little bit. I think in about the middle of the video, I was talking about Venus retrograde in Pisces. and I was talking about her conjuncting Pisces, and that's not in my mind what I meant to say. Venus is in Pisces, but what's happening as she is coming to a standstill around the middle of the month so that she can turn back to direct motion is she's conjuncting Chiron in Pisces, is what I meant to say. So I just want to clarify that first of all, is that that's going to be an intense time period, because Venus, which rules again the divine feminine, it rules relationships, partnerships, and she also rules finances and money. She's in the sign of Pisces, which is the sign of the collective, and deeply spiritual energies that relates to previous lifetimes, and sometimes victimization energies as well. So when she's coming together to connect with Chiron in Pisces, it's going to get very intense because of Chiron squaring Saturn all month. So just be aware that some of those energies are going to bring up some of those old, either this life or previous lifetime, karmic wounds with the divine feminine, and some of the repression or oppression of the divine feminine that's been happening on the planet for quite some time. Now, a couple of other things that I wanted to mention in retrospect, again, as I watched the video back, is that Chiron, the wounded healer, also rules dreams. Okay, so Chiron rules our dream time. And with all of this old karmic stuff coming up to the surface that's being purged with the Chiron Saturn square, a lot of it may happen in your dream time. I myself have already been, and I'm sure a lot of you out there have already been, experiencing an increase in dream activity for the last at least couple of weeks. So a lot of that healing and purging and releasing and transmuting of old energies, physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, is happening through your dreams. So if you're all out there wondering, why am I having these crazy dreams? It's because the Chiron Saturn square is assisting in the way of helping to cleanse and purge some of that out. Now, some of those dreams, they could be psychic dreams, so pay attention to them. They could be intuitive or psychic in nature or prophetic, but a lot of it is probably just releasing old karmic stuff. And whatever way the subconscious needs to do that is the way it's going to happen through the dream time. Now, the other thing is, because of the Chiron Saturn square and because of all the planets that are slowing down to turn retrograde, when planets are slowing down, sometimes we have this kind of heaviness feeling. And because we have so many planets that are slowing down to turn retrograde, this may cause us to feel physically fatigued. So I wanted to mention that as well, because I know a lot of you have already been sending me messages and talking to me about feeling so tired and so fatigued, and you get up and then you feel like in a couple of hours you feel like you need to lay down and get some more sleep or take a nap in the middle of the day. And some of you I have talked about taking several naps during the day, and that's okay. In fact, that's needed. Honor your body's request for downtime. Honor your body's request for sleep and rest and nurturing and getting out in nature. Again, this is going to be something that we're feeling for at least about a month's time, I'd say into maybe even the first half of May, until Chiron and Saturn start to pull away from each other. So I think those are the other couple of things that I wanted to mention. Again, love you all very much. Thank you all for your support, your kindness, your comments, your sharing of my videos, for subscribing to my channel, following me on Facebook. I love you all, and I send you all many, many blessings of love and light.